What's up, y'all? It is Toni Estes. Welcome back to the Before the Pop podcast. You know, I always say that I have amazing people. This week is no different. So let me tell you who I got this week. I have the Jacque M. She owns Jacque M 528, which is a handbag company, and I have several of them myself. She also owns the Build-A-Bag Experience, which is a fun little situation. They have drinks. The food, I heard, is crazy bomb, right? All this dope stuff. She has a 3-part series, digital series about the power of transition, where she kind of trains people and encourages people on how to transition into entrepreneurship and do some dope things. So without further ado, please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jacque M.
Hi.
Hey, girlfriend.
Hey, girl.
So thank you for coming to the podcast. I appreciate you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I follow Jacque on social media. She seems to be, so me and Jacque don't know each other super good. My husband met her first.
Yes.
And he was like, I met this girl to do handbags. So I was like, oh, she cute. Now, wait a minute. Now, what now is it? You know what I'm saying? Then I met her. I was like, okay, all right, she nice. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Yes. So we're going to talk a little bit about your story. I don't know if you looked into what the podcast is about, but Before the Pop podcast is essentially talking to dope people about who have popped in some shape, form, or fashion. Didn't have to be in fashion or just business. They popping, right? What I understand is, even for my own story, success is not a straight line.
Right.
It's like all up and down, under the ground.
Yes.
Just it can be a mess, right? And it's not easy. It's not overnight. So I talk to people about, so they can inspire people.
Yeah.
And know that, dog, I know it's looking a little raggedy.
Yeah.
But if you just hold on,
Just hold on.
it's going to pop, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to talk about, I'm more interested in the raggedy part.
Okay.
But not, right? Like, I'm interested in that, but I do want to, you know what I'm saying?
The raw and the uncut.
The raw and the uncut,
right,
baby.
the
That's
good,
what we
bad,
do.
And the super ugly
Yes.
part.
That's what I'm interested
I
in,
get
right?
it,
Yeah,
yes.
because that's what inspires me, right?
Absolutely.
So let's do this. Okay, so first question. Where are you from?
Chicago girl, born and raised south side of Chicago. Yes, yes, yes. Forever a Chicago girl.
Hey, Chicago.
Yes.
I was gonna say what part, but people that's from the South Side, I've learned, I always gotta say they gonna lead with that.
You better tell them the south side of Chicago, because when you start talking about west side, you like, what that's at?
Listen. That's a whole conversation.
You start talking about Waukegan.
Like,
girl,
what is
that is not Chicago. That's out of town.
That's what my Chicago folks say. They be
Yes,
like,
really, for
girl,
real.
that's a different, and I didn't know it was such a big difference out of
Yeah.
the west side, the south side, that they be like, oh yeah, we have to explain that.
It's different.
To y'all.
It's
Okay.
like a different culture.
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
that's the word on the streets. It's a different culture. Okay, so you went to school in Chicago. You were born and raised. So you left Chicago in high school, after high school.
So after high school, I actually went to Southern University in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
And I was there for like 2 years, from 97 to 99. And child, ended up meeting my baby daddy. Child.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
Right.
And I was like, I think I'm going to go back to Chicago.
Okay.
Girl, went
I know
back to
your mama
Chicago.
was like,
she was so mad.
Like,
girl, she was so mad. But I met him, of course, in Chicago. And then after being away from him, I was like, I'm going back to Chicago. So I ended up transferring and went to Chicago State.
okay.
And I ended up graduating from Chicago State.
But you did go back to school in
Of
Chicago.
course. I never took any break. I never took any breaks out of school. I literally left Southern in 99 after the fall semester. And then I went to Chicago State.
Got it. So you graduated. What did you get your degree in?
So I have my degree in business management and marketing.
Okay.
Yep,
All right. So
yep.
that's dope. Okay. So
Yeah.
you went to, what did you do after? So you graduated from school. How old were you? I mean, not how old, but at what point did you have your baby?
So I had my daughter when I was actually in school.
Got
so
it.
I had her when I was in college. I got pregnant with her when I was 20.
Got it. So maybe sophomore, junior year?
I was actually junior.
Junior
Yep,
year.
it was
Okay.
my junior year.
Okay.
Yep, because I actually had her while I was pregnant my whole junior year. So then my last year is when she was born. It was like that hustle, that bustle. Now I'm a mom.
Got it.
So I was working full time.
Got it.
I was, of course, immediately I was like mama bear.
Yes.
Right. So that was a really tough time though, because, like being a mother at a young age.
Being a mom at an old age too.
Yeah. So I always tell people.
but younger,
Yeah. So I tell people it's a gift and a curse. So now at this age, my daughter is an adult. Like she live in another state.
Yes.
But at that time when I had her, it was more like, okay, I got to get up, drive her way across town to a babysitter. Mm-hmm. Then I have to go way downtown, which is like another 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on traffic.
Got it.
Go to work because I worked full time.
Okay.
I would get on the train and I would go to school.
Okay.
I would go to school.
Okay.
So, and then after school, because I went to school in the evening from like 6 to 10, 6 to 9.
Okay.
And when I would get out of school, I would have to go pick up my daughter and then drive way back home. So my day to day, I still, get emotional about it because I'm like, how did I do that?
For a long time. It wasn't just for like one weekend.
No.
It was for an extended amount of time.
My last year of school.
Got it.
My last year of school, like every single day. Like, how did I do that? And I'd be thinking back like, dang, my days was like, okay, I was so like programmed. I had a system, right? And I still don't know. It was nothing but God. It got me through. Ended up graduating, and right out of school, I was recruited by Jamie Dimon.
Okay.
It was Bank One at the time.
Jamie Dimon.
Jamie Dimon is he's the president and CEO of Chase.
Got it.
Chase
okay,
Bank.
got it.
Yeah, so at the time, it was Bank One.
Got it.
I was personally recruited by him.
Got it.
When I was in my last year of school and right out of college, I started working for Chase. I was working for Chase before I had even walked across the stage.
Got it.
Because I finished in the fall, and I was with Bank One for like 10 years.
Got it. So going back, when you first found out you were pregnant and when we're moving through the pregnancy, did you feel like, oh my God, what am I gonna do?
Oh, it was more like a WTF.
little stressful. Like, yes. I mean, because a lot of times we do stuff, like you were saying, I don't know how you were saying you didn't know how you did it. But once you have babies, you just kind of muscle up and you kind of doing it, like you said, on autopilot.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering, like, before you got to the autopilot part and had her little face to look at, were you like, how am I going to do this?
Oh, absolutely. I cried. Like, I couldn't believe it.
Got it.
I could not believe it. And, when your family have high hopes and expectations, in a Black community, the big thing is go to college, get a good job, retire.
Yes.
I think everybody's parent has pretty much said that to them, right?
Yes.
So I was like the product of that.
Got it.
And I went to college.
You did. You on
went
your
away
way
to school, HBCU. I was there, for 2 years. 98, that summer, I met my daughter's dad. And my mom, she's like, oh, no.
Yeah, like,
she was so against that relationship. She was like, are you kidding me? Not him.
Right. Pick somebody else. Look like that's like,
get anybody else.
Yes. right.
Like, no, not that.
Right.
So she kind of, mamas, we know.
Right.
We know what our kids going to do, and we tell them before they even do it.
Right.
That this is what's going to happen.
Right.
So when I met him, he was one of those guys that's like, it's whatever.
Right.
And he was a fun guy.
Right.
So we was always doing something.
Right.
He'd, be like, oh, you out of school Friday? Meet me in LA.
Got it.
I am in college.
Yes,
you
like, say less. I'm on my way.
Yeah, and I'm like 18 years old.
Yes.
So I'm 18. This man is like 28.
Got it.
So he outside.
Yes.
And he's fun.
And he can finance the outside.
Yeah.
Right.
So back in the day, it wasn't no Zelle. It wasn't no Cash App.
Yes.
It was that good old Western Union. Baby.
Like, I'm going to send you to it. Like, oh, got it.
Every
Friday. Got to go to the grocery store.
Every Friday.
Yes.
A little broke college student.
Yes.
Every Friday.
Yes.
So that was exciting.
Got it.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
It was exciting. And I was so excited. I was like, I'm going back to Chicago. I want to be with my boyfriend, my man, yes. Right?
Right. Your mama like, no.
Right. She like, no, you need to stay at Southern. And I was like, girl, it's already a done deal.
Yes.
So I ended up going back home. Of course, stayed with my mom and, enrolled into Chicago State. So I never took any breaks off. So I always stayed in school.
So you got this bomb job, right? By most people's standards. Like, it's like, oh, we got the job at Bank One. And, you know what I'm saying? She's solid, right? Yeah. And you worked for them for 10 years.
Yep.
Did you leave? How long were you with the bank before? How did you get to Texas?
After being with them, they relocated me to New Orleans.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
So I went to New Orleans, and I was in New Orleans for about 4 months, and Hurricane Katrina hit. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Katrina hit, and it was like, oh, Lord. Now it was
real.
like, what am I going to do? The good thing is my mom was also there. Her job had relocated her to New Orleans. So I was there. My daughter, then my sister ended up coming. My other sister ended up coming. So we all was kind of following my mom. And when Katrina hit, it was like we were all displaced. Yeah. So my mother ended up, her job moved her to Dallas. That's how she got to Dallas, right?
Got it.
So then my sisters, they both went back to Chicago.
Okay.
And then I was still in Louisiana.
Cool.
So Chase, they ended up setting up for the New Orleans commercial bank. They ended up setting up at the Chase headquarters in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
So they made sure we all had like housing.
Got it.
So my daughter and I, we had housing and all that. But then I started feeling like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be.
Despair everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God,
yeah.
yes.
So my daughter's dad, he was like, my daughter ain't staying down there. So he actually came and got my daughter.
Got it.
He came and got my daughter and took her back to Chicago. So now I'm like, here I am without my daughter, my mom, my sisters. I don't have anybody. This whole city is in chaos.
Yes.
I started feeling like this ain't gonna work for me. An opportunity came up in Milwaukee.
Okay.
And it was more like, you take the first opportunity you can get, just to at least get out of here.
Yes.
So I ended up going to Milwaukee, and I was there for 2 years.
Okay.
Too long. I said, this is not going to work for me.
And Milwaukee is really close to Chicago,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
So,
got
and
it.
that's the only reason I kind of stayed there that long, because it was like an hour and a half.
Got it.
From the city. So I would go like back and forth. Friday come, I'm hitting the highway. I'm back first thing Monday morning so I can be in my office.
Got it.
After 2 years of being there, I was like, I need something different. And then my daughter was turning 5. So I was like, let me just go to Dallas. So I came to Dallas to visit my mom. And my daughter loved it.
Got it.
So she's like, I want to be with my grandma. I'm like, okay.
Right.
So then an opportunity came up in Dallas.
Okay.
And I ended up here in Dallas in 2007.
Okay.
And after being here for about 3-4 years, in 2011,
okay,
I came to work one day, and my boss was basically like, your time is up.
Like, we appreciate you, but
yeah.
Really?
And I said, oh.
Did you have any idea?
So, you know what? It's funny because in 2010, I started praying for something different. I started praying and I started asking God to guide my footsteps. What else do you have for me? Because working under, a stressful work environment, a hostile situation, and then Texas is a different breed.
It's different.
Texas is very different, especially in the corporate space. Texas is ran by those that don't necessarily want to see us in position.
Got it.
Okay,
Got it.
So I was working in senior level management.
Got
so
it.
I came here like that.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Got
So
it.
then coming here from all the other places I've worked was completely different.
And you was a young buck.
And I was young.
Yeah, so they was like, she don't know what she doing.
And
Like,
I was young.
Yeah.
And they were intimidated because I came from a different market, a fast-paced market. So I
Got
knew
it.
lots.
Got it.
I knew too much.
Got it.
Because I worked in commercial banking and retail.
Got it.
So I worked in high-paced work environments.
Got it.
Right? So coming here and now you're being managed by someone, your direct report, like, where she come from?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was always something.
Got it.
They kept, messing with me. So
Like,
I
we're
started.
gonna move you over here and then move you over there and then
Or just nitpicking.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Little, BS that they do.
Yes.
And then they start documenting, writing up their file. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You'd be like, dang, that file got a lot of stuff. Like, I didn't even
Like,
say that.
what
Like,
is-
I didn't know we was documenting that. Yeah.
So it was just interesting because a year prior, I was praying for something different. What else? And I just remember God said, it's time to move.
And he was like, you going to move whether you do it on your own or if I tell them to
If
come in
I
and be
tell
like,
them to let you go.
4 and 5. Come on now.
Yep. Even if you're not prepared, you got to go.
Got it. So, 2011,
Yep.
they let you go.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, now you just don't have a job and a baby. However, did they take care of you? Was like, we're going to give you this little old package and going on? Or was they just like, get your stuff? And did they give you a severance, or like some type, I guess that ain't had it. I ain't never been in corporate America.
No, I didn't have like a severance or anything like that because I
you
didn't
had
get laid off.
You right.
You know what
they
I'm saying?
They don't give severances when they let you go.
When they let you go, you better go.
Like, dang, I don't get no consolation prize or nothing for being in this
You know what I did?
What?
I went down the street to the nearest Starbucks and pulled out my laptop and went and filed for unemployment.
That's as you should have. Right.
And I remember going from, I laugh about it now, but I remember going from a 6-figure salary to an unemployment check.
And you be like,
and that check was
like, this ain't hitting on like
$417 a week. And I said, well, this definitely wasn't the unemployment, the pandemic unemployment. It wasn't
absolutely
that
not.
Unemployment. It was that.
You be like, how
we gonna eat on this?
How we gonna eat on this? Because I got bills that reflect a 6-figure budget.
Yeah.
Like,
and I have a kid.
And I got a kid. Okay. Oh,
so you go from being a single mom in another state, making 6 figures, to making $417 a week, girl.
That's a lot.
Fix it, Jesus.
Fix it, Jesus. And it's like, Jesus. Dang, like I'm a, ooh.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
And it's overnight. Like it's not like a lead up to it. It's just like an extreme drop.
And I always tell people, like, when I was forced to transition, I didn't have a plan.
Got it.
I didn't have a game plan. I didn't have a side hustle. I didn't have a business I was marketing or building or whatever. I was like,
well, we got to figure it out.
That's the mistake I made. When I was praying for something else, I wasn't researching.
Got it.
That's something else. I wasn't preparing for that's something else.
Got it.
So when the time came, it was like, well, what you gonna do?
You be like, oh God, but look, mamas be
we figure it out.
Yes, but you be like, oh, this is a lot. Yeah.
And I remember it was like 2 days or so before my daughter's birthday, which she just had a birthday on the 28th of May, which is what 528 is, my daughter's birthday.
Got it.
So she just had her birthday, and it was a couple days before her birthday when it happened. And right going into the summer. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to worry about what's next. Instead, I just took the summer off, and I enjoyed being a mom.
That's
what I did.
Okay. Hey, Party City, I ordered 500 balloons. Can we bring it down to 10?
Yeah.
It's like you just.
We probably won't be having that big birthday party.
Big birthday party.
Y'all just come to the house.
Yeah.
I got a cake.
I'm gonna make
with some candles.
Cakes. Yeah.
Oh, and we got some good food.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like you just try to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you got to Texas.
Yeah.
I know this is getting really, really good, but we're gonna have to end it there. Look, ain't there anything else? We're gonna come back for part 2. This is like a really, really good story. I'm liking it because you're giving me details, right?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to know, like, what color shirt did you have on?
Right.
Trying to be like, you don't need all of that. That's just how I like getting stories, right? So anyway, come back next week for part 2.
Yes.
See you soon.